channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to head back to Canon Films territory. But before we do that, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly would appreciate that. Also, shameless plug for my TeePublic page. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And today we're going back to 1981 for Enter the Ninja. Yes. Enter the Ninja came out October 2nd of 1981. It's rated R. It's an hour and 39 minutes long. Had a budget of $1.5 million. And upon release, it made a little over $15 million. So this was a success for Canon Films. Early on success in their storied history in Hollywood. And this film was directed by Menachem Golan himself. But he wasn't originally supposed to direct this film. There was another director. And after a few days of sealing the dailies, he stepped in and said, yeah, no, I'm going to take over the director's chair. So he stepped in to direct this film. Also, well, let's go down the cast here. Franco Nero plays Cole, but again, he was not originally in this film. They started filming with a very accomplished martial artist named Mike Stone. He was going to star in this film, and after the daily seeing that, they knew he couldn't act, so he was removed from that role, although he did stay on as Franco Nero's double and stunt coordinator or fight choreographer. But they brought Franco Nero was in Milan. They went to him, offered him the role, and he took it, and he ended up being in this movie. It all just happened by happenstance. So he plays Cole, and Franco Nero's a legend. He was in the original Django. He was in Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained movie in 2012. He was in John Wick 2. He was in Die Hard 2 as General Esperanzo. So, I mean, many other films. Tons of credits. Check out his IMDb if you're interested. Also in this film is Susan George as Marianne. She plays the wife of Frank, played by Alex Courtney. He is Cole's friend. They served in the military together. That's how they know each other. And Susan George was most notably in Straw Dogs in 71 for Peckinpah, and in Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry in 74, which is a cool car chase movie. If you've never seen it, check it out. I think I might review that one coming up soon. I really like that film. It's been a while since I've seen it. Also in this film is Christopher George playing the main bad guy as Vernarius. And he was in a ton of films, long career until he passed away in 82. He was in Graduation Day, which is a movie I'll be reviewing coming up. He was in Grizzly. He was in Midway, which is odd. You know, he just in Midway City of the Dead. He was in that. Tons. Check out his IMDb. Tons of credits. And Will Harris in this film is Dollars. He's kind of like this guy that hangs out in this small village. Looks like he's ex-military. And I bring him up because he was Old Man Peabody in Back to the Future in 85. And also he played the weird psycho grandpa in Silent Night, Deadly Night in 84. Now, this film starts off with this action sequence. We see this guy dressed up as a ninja, all white garb, being chased around by other ninjas. It goes on for like 13 minutes. There's not a line of dialogue. And so it just kicks off like that. We see this ninja in white garb just going through the forest, being attacked by other ninjas, and then it ends at this house, this structure, and then, you know, Franco Nero's character, Cole, gets inducted into the Brotherhood of being a ninja. Although one ninja is not too happy about it because he's a Westerner and he's infringing on their territory. But this master sensei said, nope, he qualifies. He passed all the tests. He is a ninja. So Cole takes off for the Philippines to visit his friend Frank and his wife Marianne on their farm. And Frank and Marianne are having problems with the local crime lord played by Christopher George. Here, they find out that there's oil under their land and they want the land. They will not take no for an answer. So they hire thugs to go after them. Cole intervenes and kicks a whole lot of ass. And finally, Christopher George's character hires a ninja to combat this ninja. And we have a final fight in an actual cockfighting ring where they filmed it to the death. And Cole wins. Frank got killed in the process. So Cole leaves Marianne behind with her farm. And that is the end of Enter the Ninja. What's it like about this? Well, actually, there's quite a bit. I had not seen this film in quite some time, like probably 25 years. Probably the last time I seen this film. I rented it from the video store the last time I saw this film. And I bought this on a whim. It was on sale on Amazon for like $15. And, you know, I wanted to relive my childhood. It's been a while since I've seen it. Or my younger days. And, you know, Franco Nero, even though he doesn't We don't hear Franco Nero's voice. That's the other thing I got to say, even though in my positives. He gets dubbed throughout the entire film because Cole as a character was supposed to be a Texan, and Franco Nero couldn't pull off a Texan accent, and so they just dubbed him throughout the whole film. But I still love Franco Nero's performance. He does a lot with his eyes and facial expressions. He's great here. He was not a trained ninja, so Mike Stone, the gentleman who was supposed to originally star in that role, doubled him a lot for a lot of the action scenes and was a stunt coordinator as well. But I still think he's great here. And obviously Franco Nero is a legend. So, it's always nice to see him on screen. And he is good here, even though we don't hear his voice. Susan George, who I love in Straw Dogs and Dirty Mary Crazy Larry, is good here as Marianne. She does what she can. It's a thankless part. She's kind of just the wife of this guy. I mean, she does have a personality in that, but we don't get to know her all that well. This movie's not that long, and there's a lot of action in this film. Christopher George, I think, is great here as the main villain. He's just chewing the shit out of the scenery, and I've always appreciated Christopher George. He was in a lot of stuff over the years that I've seen, like especially Grizzly. I've seen Grizzly many times, and I like him in that film as well. And he's great here as this scumbag crime lord. He gives an over-the-top, scenery-chewing performance, but I'm there for it, Ben. I am there for it. The action, although I will say is not the greatest shot or the greatest choreographer, is not the greatest put together, I still enjoy the action. There's a lot of quick random action. There's a lot of people getting killed with throwing stars and whatnot. This isn't John Wick here, but still, I was entertained as hell, so I'll give it that. That's about it for the pod. I mean, it doesn't overstay its welcome in an hour and 39 minutes. It's the perfect length here. You're in and you're out, and there's enough here to chew on it. You're having a good time. Negative-wise, this has all the tropes of a canon film, which I like canon films. They have a charm to them. I like other canon films better than others, but this is a perfectly enjoyable one, but you could tell they didn't have a whole lot of money. So some of the effects, especially makeup effects when people get their heads chopped off in that, they're filming it from far away, but you could tell it's a prop head, which is fine. I get it. It was a $1.5 million production. They were trying to do a lot with very little. So there is a lot of that low budgetness here, and you could tell. And this story is nothing groundbreaking. It's a very simple action story premise. This guy gets inducted to the Art of the Ninja. He goes off to visit his friend who's having problems with the local crime syndicate, and he steps in to help him. And that is pretty much it. But I was entertained. This isn't the greatest film, action movie ever. I'm not trying to sell it as that, but I was entertained rewatching this for the first time in a long time. So at the end of the day, it's just a fun movie. Don't expect too much, but if you like canon films, this is a perfectly enjoyable one at that. Funny enough, this movie was considered the one that popularized ninjutsu in the 80s. This and The Octagon, which came out in 1980 with Chuck Norris, those were the two films that really popularized this ninjutsu in the 80s, which is crazy to think of that, but it's true. Again, Franco Nero had no martial arts training, so obviously did a lot with doubles and him just doing simple moves on screen when they were filming the action scenes. Again, no spoken dialogue in the first 13 minutes of the film. You don't hear a word said other than this crazy action scene going on for 13 minutes until finally somebody says a word of dialogue. At the end of the day, is this the greatest action film? Again, no. This is no John Wick. This won't be talked about as the top 100 action films of all time. But if you're a canon fan, and you know who you are out there, because I am a canon fan as well, this is a perfectly enjoyable entry in the Canon Films catalog. And I thoroughly had fun with it. Again, my score is going to reflect how this movie isn't the greatest, but I still would recommend it if you're a canon fan, if you've never seen it. It's highly enjoyable. And honestly, Kino Lorber did a nice job. I mean, Kino Lorber is doing the Lord's work. They're giving movies that nobody has probably thought about in decades a second life and giving them a pretty damn good transfer, probably a better transfer than most people think it deserves. Not me, but some people would. So yeah, it's definitely worth picking up. You can get this on Amazon or over at kinolorber.com. At the end of the day, I would rank Enter the Ninja a 6.5 out of 10. I had that much fun with it. Not the greatest film ever, just a fun, good time with a lot of random action, a lot of people getting their ass kicked. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for Enter the Ninja. If you've ever seen or even heard of this one, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Are you a fan of canon films? Leave that comment down below. Let me know. I will be doing some more canon films coming up. I'm going to do American Ninja 1 and 2. I have those coming up within the next couple months. I'm going to go back to doing slasher films, obviously, because I still have quite a bit to get through. But that's it for this review. Until next time, bye.